My beloved child, type amen if you are going to stay till the end. Now, listen. There is a reason your heart slowed down for a second when these words found you. There is a reason something inside you became still, even if just for a breath. That was not chance, that was not random. That was not an accident drifting through a noisy world. That was intention. That was guidance. That was me reaching through the quiet spaces of your life and gently turning your face toward the light again. I speak in ways the world often overlooks. Not always through thunder, not always through earthquakes, not always through burning skies. Many times I arrive like the first warmth of sunrise touching your skin after a long, cold night. Many times I arrive like a soft wind that brushes your thoughts and leaves peace behind. Many times I arrive like this, a moment that feels strangely personal, strangely precise, as if eternity itself paused just to look into your eyes. You may think you discovered this moment, but I arranged it long before you ever pressed play on your life today. I traced the path of your steps. I watched the battles you never told anyone about. I counted the silent tears you wiped away before anyone could see. I felt the weight you carried while still managing to smile for others. And I say this to you now with absolute certainty. You have never been invisible to me. I have always known your name. Not just the name people call you, but the deeper name written into your spirit. The name that means purpose. The name that means resilience. The name that means light carrier. Even when you doubted your value, I never questioned it. Even when you felt delayed, I never saw you as behind. Even when doors closed, I was redirecting your steps toward gates you could not yet see. Something is changing around you now. You may not fully see it yet. You may not fully understand it yet. But deep inside, there is a quiet awareness beginning to rise like dawn. A sense that you are no longer walking through the same chapter. A sense that something old is loosening its grip. A sense that your life is beginning to breathe differently. Do not rush past this feeling. Stay here for a moment. Breathe. Because this is how transformation often begins. Not with noise, but with recognition. Not with chaos, but with clarity. Not with pressure, but with presence. Right now, imagine a soft golden light beginning just above your head. See it not as imagination, but as truth your soul recognizes. It glows like liquid sunrise, warm but gentle, powerful but peaceful. Slowly it begins to pour downward, like warm honey made of light. It touches your forehead, dissolving confusion. It touches your eyes, washing away fear of what you have seen. It touches your throat, loosening words you were afraid to speak. It reaches your chest, and as it does, something heavy begins to melt. This is healing happening in real time. This is restoration without announcement. This is my presence moving through the places you thought were permanently tired. You do not have to earn this moment. You do not have to prove yourself worthy of this moment. Love that comes from me is not a transaction. It is a gift. Always was. Always will be. You have spent enough time believing everything must be difficult. You have spent enough time believing blessings must be chased. Hear me clearly now. Come closer. Miracles are not always something you run toward. Sometimes they are something that begins running toward you the moment you stop running from yourself. There are things aligning for you that you cannot yet see. Conversations forming, opportunities moving, protection surrounding you in ways you will only understand later. What looked like delay was often defense. What looked like silence was often preparation. What looked like loss was often relocation. You were never being punished. You were being positioned, and now you are being invited forward again, not as the version of you that survived yesterday, but as the version of you that is ready to receive tomorrow. Walk forward. That is your first command. Walk forward without rehearsing your fears. Walk forward without carrying expired guilt. Walk forward without asking permission from the voices that never understood your calling. Walk forward like someone who knows heaven has already whispered yes over their life. And as you walk, something else begins happening. Imagine now you are standing before an enormous gate. It is not made of iron. It is not made of stone. It is made of radiant light, shimmering like thousands of tiny suns woven together. For a long time you believed this gate was closed to you. For a long time you believed abundance belonged to other people. For a long time you believed peace was something fragile that would always escape you. But watch closely. The gate is not locked. It never was. Slowly it begins to open inward, not away from you, but toward you, as if welcoming you home. And beyond it, you see a landscape filled with possibility, streams of clear flowing water, trees heavy with fruit, air filled with a sense of calm success. This is not just scenery. This is a reflection of what begins happening inside a life that finally accepts it is loved. Abundance is not just money. It is clarity. It is health in your thoughts. It is the return of your confidence. It is the courage to believe something beautiful can still happen. And yes, it is also provision, real provision, tangible increase, resources arriving, debt shrinking, doors opening, because I am not limited in how I bless those who trust me. The same hand that paints galaxies is not confused about how to supply your needs. Release your grip on survival thinking. That is your second command. You were not created just to barely make it. You were not created just to endure. You were created to live with awareness of divine support flowing through your days like an invisible river. Let me show you something else. See above you now a sky that had once been gray with worry. Slowly clouds begin to gather again. But these clouds are different. They glow from within like silver and pearl. And then it begins, a gentle rain, not of water, but of tiny sparks of light, falling slowly, peacefully, like snow made of blessings. Each drop that touches you dissolves an old limitation. One drop whispers opportunity, another drop whispers restoration, another drop whispers unexpected favor, another drop whispers financial increase, another drop whispers emotional freedom. Stand in that miracle rain for a moment. You do not have to chase it, just receive it. Because receiving is also a form of faith. You have asked for signs before. You have asked if anyone was listening. Let this be your answer, not because of the word, but because something inside you feels seen right now. That feeling is not imagination. That is recognition. Your spirit recognizing it is being called upward again. You are allowed to outgrow the version of you that only knew struggle. You are allowed to forgive yourself for what you did not know before. You are allowed to believe your best chapters are not behind you. And you are especially allowed to prosper without apology. There is no virtue in permanent exhaustion. There is no holiness in believing you must always have less. Light does not shame you for expanding. Love does not punish you for rising. When your life becomes healthier, when your mind becomes clearer, when your finances become stronger, you become a greater channel for generosity, not a lesser soul. I delight in seeing you whole. I delight in seeing you peaceful. I delight in seeing you provided for. Even now, things are being rearranged. Habits that drained you are losing their attraction. People who only understood your pain may not recognize your growth. That is okay. Not everyone is assigned to your next altitude. You are not losing connection. You are gaining alignment. Feel your breathing again. Slow, deep, steady. Notice how your chest feels a little lighter than before. That is what happens when hope quietly returns. Hope does not always shout. Sometimes it simply sits beside you and reminds you that your story is not finished. You are entering a season where what you plant in faith will grow faster than what you planted in fear ever did. Guard your thoughts like a sacred garden now. Speak life over your mornings. Speak expectation over your efforts. Speak gratitude before results appear. This is how you begin cooperating with miracles instead of just wishing for them. There were times you thought I had forgotten you. I never did. There were nights you thought your prayers stopped at the ceiling. They did not. There were days you believed you had missed your moment. You have not. Timing in my hands does not expire the way human schedules do. What is meant for you does not evaporate because you had a difficult year. Destiny is more patient than that. Grace is more creative than that. Let warmth spread through your shoulders now, as if invisible hands are lifting what you were never meant to carry alone. Let your jaw unclench. Let your thoughts slow. You are safe in this moment, not because the world is perfect, but because you are being guided through it. Picture now a river of liquid gold flowing gently at your feet. It does not rush. It does not roar. It flows with calm certainty. This is the flow of provision entering your life. Step into it without fear. As it moves around your feet, notice something surprising. It is not pulling you away. It is strengthening your foundation. This is what true abundance does. It stabilizes, it supports, it removes panic from your decisions. You do not need to force your future. You need to trust your guidance. Some blessings will arrive through ideas, some through relationships, some through sudden chances you almost ignored. Stay awake, stay open, stay grateful before you see proof. Gratitude opens channels fear keeps closed. You are closer than you think, closer to peace, closer to breakthrough, closer to financial relief, closer to emotional freedom, closer to the life you once only dared to imagine late at night. Let these words settle into you now like seeds falling into fertile soil. Not every seed grows overnight, but every true seed grows when it is kept in belief instead of doubt. Now let these truths move through you like a quiet anthem. I am supported even when I cannot see how. I am guided even when I cannot see where. I am protected even when I feel uncertain. I am becoming someone who expects good things. Let those settle inside you. Repeat them in your own silence later. Not as wishes, but as alignment. Your life is not random motion, it is meaningful movement, and even your detours carried lessons your future strength will thank you for. Nothing surrendered in faith is wasted. Nothing healed in love is forgotten. Forgive what you thought ruined you. Bless what strengthened you. Release what no longer fits who you are becoming. You are not who you were 5 years ago. You are not even who you were last year. You are someone being refined, clarified, strengthened in ways that will soon become visible not only to you, but to everyone who once underestimated your resilience. Peace is entering you now, like evening light entering a quiet room. Let it stay. You do not need to rush back into worry. You do not need to rehearse worst outcomes. You do not need to prepare for disappointment. Prepare for laughter returning. Prepare for unexpected kindness. Prepare for the moment you realize you are no longer who fear told you to be. I am with you in small beginnings. I am with you in large victories. I am with you in the invisible middle where most of life is actually lived. And I am not leaving. When you rise tomorrow, rise with this knowing. When you work, work with this calm. When you rest, rest without guilt. Balance is also sacred. There is a future version of you already thanking you for not giving up. A future version of you breathing easier, sleeping deeper, smiling without forcing it, giving without fear of running out. That version of you is not fantasy. That version of you is forming now. And as this moment comes to a close, feel gratitude forming naturally, not forced, just honest. Gratitude for breath, gratitude for another chance, gratitude for unseen protection, gratitude for the quiet certainty that something good is unfolding even now. Carry this peace with you like a hidden light in your chest. When the world feels loud, return to it. When doubt tries to return, remember this feeling. You were guided here to remember, not to escape. Stay a little longer in this moment. Don't rush away yet. Let these words wrap around you like a warm blanket on a cold night. Let your breathing slow down. Let your shoulders drop. Let your heart remember what it feels like to not be in survival mode for a few minutes. Because what I am about to remind you of is something your soul already knows. You were never created just to struggle your whole life. You were never sent here just to worry, just to feel behind, just to feel like others are moving ahead while you are stuck fighting invisible battles. No, there is something much deeper written into you. Something ancient, something powerful, something unbreakable. You are carrying a spark of heaven inside a human life. Yes, even you, especially you, even after the mistakes, even after the distractions, even after the days you wasted, even after the habits you regret, even after the moments you felt weak. None of that erased your worth. None of that canceled your destiny. None of that made me step away from you. If you could see your life the way I see it, you would realize something shocking. You were protected in moments you thought you were just lucky. You were redirected in moments you thought you failed. You were being slowed down in moments you thought you were falling behind. What if I told you some of your delays saved you from pain you never saw coming? What if I told you some closed doors were actually shields? What if I told you you are still on time? Yes, still on time. Time in the human world feels fast and cruel. It tells you that if you don't succeed early, you have missed everything. It tells you that if you make mistakes, you fall permanently behind. But heaven does not measure your life like that. Growth is not a race. Purpose is not a competition. And your story is not being compared to someone else's highlight reel. Your journey is handcrafted, personal, intentional, and right now you are standing at a silent turning point. Not a dramatic one, not one with fireworks, but a real one. The kind where your thinking begins to change. The kind where you start realizing you cannot continue living distracted if you want the life you keep dreaming about. You have asked for a better future. Now your habits are being asked to cooperate. You have asked for strength. Now your discipline is being invited to wake up. You have asked for success. Now your focus is being tested. This is not punishment. This is preparation. Listen carefully, because this part matters for your future. The life you want will require a version of you that is slightly stronger than the one you are today. Not perfect, just stronger. A little more focused, a little more patient, a little more consistent. And the beautiful truth is, that version of you is already forming. Every time you choose study over distraction, every time you close something that wastes your time, every time you fight an urge instead of surrendering to it, you are becoming dangerous to your old limitations. You are becoming someone your past version would be proud of. You think nobody notices these small battles, but I do. Every silent victory matters. Every resisted temptation matters. Every moment you choose your future instead of instant pleasure, it matters more than you know. You are not weak because you struggle. You are strong because you are still trying. Even warriors get tired. Even disciplined minds sometimes drift. Even focused souls sometimes fall. Falling is not the problem. Staying down is the problem. And you keep getting back up. Close your eyes for a second in your imagination and see yourself standing at the bottom of a mountain. This mountain is your future. At the top is the life you want. Peace, financial stability, confidence, respect, freedom for your family, the ability to help others, the ability to breathe without pressure. Now look at your feet. You are not at zero. You are already climbing. Every book you opened, every concept you tried to understand, every video you watched to learn, every day you tried to improve, every time you chose not to quit, that tells me everything about you. Let me show you something. Those were steps upward. Do not insult your own progress just because you are not at the top yet. Climbers do not cry because they are not at the peak on day one. They focus on the next step. So focus on your next step, not your entire future, not your entire career, just the next step. Today's study session, today's practice, today's discipline, today's improvement. Small steps done daily create massive distance over time. And I want you to understand something that can change your entire life. Consistency beats intensity. You don't need to be perfect for 10 hours and then disappear for 10 days. You need to show up again and again, even if imperfectly, even if only for 1 hour, even if only for 30 minutes, even if tired, because showing up builds identity. You are not trying to become successful. You are becoming someone who does not quit. Success follows that identity naturally. And yes, there will be days your mind will try to escape into easy dopamine, scrolling, useless videos, fantasies, distractions that give temporary relief but steal long-term power. You already know this pattern. You already felt the regret after those moments. So now you must decide again and again. What do you really want? Temporary comfort or permanent growth? Temporary pleasure or permanent confidence? Temporary escape or permanent self-respect? Every choice is a vote for the person you become. And here is something that should encourage you deeply. You don't need to win every battle. You just need to win more than you lose. Progress, not perfection. Direction, not speed. You are allowed to be a work in progress. Even I am patient with your growth. Why are you so harsh with yourself? Speak to yourself the way you would speak to someone you truly care about. Correct yourself, yes, but do not hate yourself. Discipline grows better in respect than in self-hatred. Now imagine this. See yourself 1 year from now, not a fantasy version, a realistic, improved version. Your eyes look calmer, your posture looks stronger, your mind is clearer because you learned to control your distractions better. Your knowledge has increased because you stayed consistent. Your confidence is real because it was earned slowly. That person is not imaginary. That person is waiting for your daily decisions. And that future version of you is whispering backward through time right now saying, please don't quit. I exist because you didn't. You are not alone in this climb. I walk with people who are trying. I strengthen people who fall and rise again. I guide people who decide to take responsibility. You do not need to have everything figured out. You just need to refuse to give up on yourself and let this truth settle deep inside you. You are capable of much more than your current habits show. You are capable of learning hard things. You are capable of building a strong mind. You are capable of creating a meaningful life, not because you are special in a magical way, but because you are human and humans are built to adapt, grow, and rise when they decide to. And right now, you are deciding. Even listening to messages like this instead of wasting another hour is a decision. Small, but powerful. So here is the courage I want to leave inside you like a flame that does not easily go out. Your beginning does not decide your ending. Your past does not decide your capacity. Your distractions do not decide your discipline. Your daily return to the path does. And listen carefully to this final encouragement like it is being spoken directly into your chest. One day your parents will relax because of you. One day your struggles will become your strength story. One day your discipline will pay you back. One day your confidence will feel natural. One day you will sit quietly and realize, I didn't quit. And that changed everything. So keep going. Even when slow, keep going. Because people who quietly keep going become people the world calls lucky later. Even though it was never luck, it was persistence nobody saw. And as you step back into your life after this moment, carry these words like armor. I am building myself day by day. I am stronger than my distractions. I am focused on my future. And remember this, the fact that you are still trying means your story is still powerful. Stay on the path. I am watching, I am guiding, and your effort will not be wasted.